date is September 3rd, 1260. In a dusty valley in Palestine, two massive armies are about to collide. One has conquered half the known world and never tasted defeat. For 6 decades, the Mongol Empire has been an unstoppable force of nature. The other is fighting for survival against impossible odds. But today, in a place called Ain Jalut, that's about to change. The Mongol commander is a Christian general named Kitbuqa. He served the great Khan his entire life, leading armies that seemed invincible. Their riders can fire arrows with lethal accuracy while riding at full gallop. They can hit targets the size of a man's fist from 100 yards away. In 1258, Baghdad learned what resistance means. Over 1 million people died in 7 days. The Tigris River literally ran red with blood. Qutuz's response shocks everyone. He executes every Mongol messenger and impales their heads on spikes above Cairo's gates. It's a declaration of total war. But the Mamluks have something the Mongols have rarely faced. Every Mamluk began life as a slave child, torn from their families forever. They entered a brutal training system that transformed them into the deadliest warriors the Islamic world has ever produced. They were professional killers, forged into brothers. Among them is Baibars, Qutuz's most brilliant general. He's been studying Mongol tactics for years, and he's developed a plan that just might work. Qutuz won't be watching from safety. He'll lead the army personally, fighting alongside his men. His warriors need to see their leader willing to die beside them. September 3rd, 1260, dawn breaks over Ain Jalut, which means Spring of Goliath in Arabic. The valley is cool, the air still. Mongol scouts arrive first, just as predicted. About 1,000 horsemen riding hard, looking for easy prey. They spot a small Mamluk cavalry unit, maybe 500 riders, outnumbered, isolated, perfect targets. The Mongols attack without hesitation. Their arrows blacken the sky. The Mamluks appear to panic and flee. But something's different. The Mamluks aren't fleeing in terror. They're conducting a fighting retreat, leading the Mongols deeper into the valley. Kitbuqa arrives with the main Mongol army, 20,000 of the world's most feared warriors, anticipating another massacre. Every instinct should be screaming at him to proceed carefully. But he's a Mongol general, and Mongol generals attack. Then the horns sound, not from one direction, but from everywhere. Hundreds of horns, blaring in unison. And then the Mamluks reveal themselves. Thousands of warriors rise from concealed positions in the hills. Maybe 30,000 in total surrounding the entire Mongol force. For the first time in 6 decades, a Mongol army is trapped. The Mongols are shocked, but they're not defeated. They've been surprised before. They've faced superior numbers before. Kitbuqa immediately orders a breakout. The Mongol charge is terrifying. For a moment, it seems like they might actually fight their way free. That's when Qutuz does something unprecedented. He rips off his helmet and hurls it to the ground. Then he screams at the top of his lungs, "Oh, Islam!" Every Mamluk warrior hears him. They see their Sultan fighting like a common soldier. The effect is electric. The Mamluks surge forward with a ferocity the Mongols have never encountered. They're fighting for survival. The battle transforms into a bloodbath. But for the first time in living memory, it's not the Mongols doing the slaughtering. Kitbuqa fights magnificently. His blade cuts down dozens before he's finally overwhelmed. With his dying breath, he curses his enemies. By sunset, the Mongol army is destroyed. A few hundred escape to carry news of the catastrophe. The rest lie dead in the sand. But Ain Jalut's importance transcends the tactical victory. For 60 years, the Mongols had seemed blessed with divine invincibility. Today, that myth dies in a Palestinian valley. The invincible can be beaten, the tide can be turned. News spreads across the Islamic world like wildfire. People who've lived under the shadow of Mongol terror suddenly dare to hope. In Mongolia, the great Khan receives the news months later. For the first time since Genghis Khan forged the empire, a Mongol army has been annihilated. The westward expansion halts immediately. The momentum that carried the Mongols across Asia and into Europe is broken forever. Resources that would have conquered North Africa and pushed deeper into Europe are redirected elsewhere. The shock is profound. The Mamluks seize their opportunity. Over the following years, they recapture every city the Mongols took in Palestine and Syria. Under Mamluk rule, Cairo becomes one of the richest cities in the world. The knowledge preserved in their libraries helps fuel the European Renaissance. Today, the battlefield of Ain Jalut is an unremarkable valley in the West Bank. Most people who pass through have no idea they're standing where world history pivoted. Ain Jalut saved more than Egypt. It preserved Islamic civilization at its most vulnerable moment. It stopped the Mongol advance. It changed the trajectory of 3 continents. Sometimes all it takes to change the world is for the right people to stand in the right place and refuse to move. On September 3rd, 1260, that's exactly what happened. And the world has never been the same.